but not broken, with host Patrick Scroggins. As a U.S. Army attack helicopter pilot deployed in Iraq, Patrick faced a devastating crash, which resulted in him dying, losing a leg, and a slew of broken bones. Patrick's story of rehabilitation has helped others to overcome their own obstacles. Each week, Patrick recounts stories of inspiration and interviews guests who have overcome remarkable obstacles. This is Wounded But Not Broken, with your host, Patrick Scroggins.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Wounded But Not Broken. Tonight, we're going to change it up a little bit. Last week, we had a pretty heavy episode, a pretty touching story, pretty sad. So we're going to bring it up tonight. Tonight, we have a very special guest calling in from Canada. It's Josh Perry with Baden K-9. And, with all the movies coming out now with the dogs in the military and of what kind of role they actually play and how much of a combat multiplier that they are. I don't think there's anybody that could talk about it more than Josh. I mean, they train some of the most premier dogs in the world, and he comes from a long line of it. So, Josh, I'd like to welcome you.
Hey, buddy. Thanks. Yeah. First, appreciate you guys having us. We're
glad that you're here.
Thank you.
So with all for the people that don't really understand, well, first of all, let's talk about how your family got into the dog training industry and kind of how it started, and if you'd give us a quick overrun of that.
Yeah. So there's a lot to it. I'll give you the quick and dirty. The company's 50 years old. My father, years ago, he's written a book called My Years with a Dog Man. He had a mentor that at a point in his life where at right place, right time, started mentoring and training him. That was basically the foundation, the plank holding of our company, which led into the breed raising and training of Dutch Shepherd, German Shepherds, and Belgian Malinois. We service law enforcement, military. The cornerstone of our company is family home protection. That was the foundation of it, to focus on the family and offering the securing of life for families and the ability to be able to, whether it be the husband or wife on the move, secure the family back home through our dogs and our training. And, obviously that leads into other emergency service communities. We're very involved in the veteran community. And so the military was involved in that. And you want me to keep going or am I...
Yeah. I mean, because I know there's a lot of history with, the bloodlines and all that stuff. So if you want to briefly go over that, that'd be awesome.
Say that one more time, buddy. You broke up.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's a lot of history there with your bloodline of your dogs, because you have your own bloodlines that you train from, correct?
Yes. Yeah. So the bloodline. So again, we breed, raise, and train them all. We keep them in house. The bloodline goes over 100 years. The mentor through my father, Germanic blood that came out of Germany after World War II. The blood goes deeper than that, but after World War II, my father was blessed to be able to not only be mentored, but tap into the intellectual property as well as the bloodline that we preserve and keep current today, which I guess you can say we strive to protect. The foundation was a German Shepherd, and then latter years we tapped into the Dutch Shepherd and the German Shepherds.
Right. So when you talk about training a dog, and I know I'm sure it's different for if you're training for home protection, maybe a little bit different training for home protection, or if you're specifically training it for a SEAL team or a Special Forces team or whatever it may be in the military. So kind of walk us through that life cycle of that dog of how it would, how long it would take and how you train them.
Yeah, so we, right now our breeding program is pretty dialed in as far as the genetics go. We know what we're going to get in the Malinois and the Dutchies and the Germans. We are still dealing with the family home protection program, the law enforcement and the military at not big levels with the EMS, but we do, I guess I can say this public, we deal with the Aussies. They're very good friends of ours. the military. So they'll select dogs from us, push out. We deal with North American law enforcement. So there's different breeds genetically as we raise our puppies, and obviously different lines for different purposes. One of the big things we do is the service dog program for veterans as well. We'll get into that in a minute. But so our pups are born. The selecting, the vetting is pretty dialed in as far as genetics, like I said, go. We start them at 5 weeks of age. We start the integration, the stabilization, and the familiarization in with the stability, control, obedience, the exposure to all the direction, the consistency with the environment they're going to go into, and then just, basically moving with them all over the place, whether it be traveling with us, out back on the obstacle course, familiar with water. We look at, in a lot of communities, we look at the application of the stress through the direction, and the dogs being able to, not just the dogs, but the handlers and the dogs being able to function and live in that environment with the obedience. So that's pretty much it. We'll start them at 5 weeks of age. Usually, they're 11 months to 16 months old, depending on the environment they're going into. That's when the embedding happens, whether it be the family or law enforcement or the military.
Gotcha. And so when you train a dog for like an active military unit, do you have like a guideline that you go by, or do you train them specifically for that unit, for their needs, or for that handler's needs?
Yeah, when it comes to the military, they have specific needs and specific guidelines that we have to follow. They'll come in and usually they'll do a recce on the facility, the dogs, check us out, and then once they get a good fuzzy feeling, then they just, these are our standards. You guys think you can meet them, and we say yay or nay, and we follow their. It's pretty similar. There's a lot of real similar things, but as far as the capabilities go, but there's just add-on stuff that we don't do or might not do, and especially the family-owned protection, but even the emergency service community back here. Obviously, the soft community they have different needs kinetically and with their obedience.
Right. And so, do you train dogs for like search and rescue and all that stuff?
We've trained a lot of dogs. We love tracking. The capability. My father especially, he loves the tracking part of it. But we've done a lot of search and rescue dogs. Yeah, we put dogs. The 9/11, the pile. We had dogs in the pile. We've worked with private and government search and rescue teams currently and recently. Not as much outside of the military contracts where those dogs have that detection need for that unit. Yeah, we love tracking.
Yeah, I know that just having a dog that is trained like that, it's a sense of security. And I know for a lot of soldiers, PTSD and coming out of the war, they may not have been a dog handler in the war, but having somebody that's your battle buddy, they're always watching your back. It's such a security blanket for them guys. And so I know that you do, like you had mentioned, you do a lot with nonprofits and a lot of different stuff like that. So do you want to name the nonprofits that you're currently working with?
Yeah, for sure. Just leading up, if I got time, we, I grew up around World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Gulf, war vets, Korean War vets, and, they would come hang out and tell their stories. I was a young buck growing up, and we would just hand over the dogs and give them away at no cost, just because we saw, one, within our family and our community, the fulfillment that those dogs do for the veterans, but also for what they did for others. So we would just give them away. And I ran into it. It all started at the UDT Navy SEAL Museum. Rick Kaiser is one of the bosses at the Navy SEAL Museum. He comes from Dev Group. He approached me and just said, "Listen, we want a dog," so we donated him a dog, and we kind of played with the whole donation and the fundraising on the charitable side, because we're a for-profit, not for profit. And he said, "Listen, let's just keep giving back, and we'll work together on the charity side." And we started a K-9 demonstration team with a military capability and fundraising. So that was, I think, 10 years ago now, I believe. That led into Special Operations Wounded Warriors at a Myrtle Beach, Sal. another charity that runs. It started with pig hunts, and basically killing hogs with dogs. And we started donating dogs to veterans there. Through that charity, I ran into Oz, Mark Geis from 13 Hours, which is actually he's actually my host now. We have a program on for a week. We got some boys in town from the military veterans that are going through a selection process right now to maybe receive a dog in the future through Baden and his charity, Shadow Warriors Project, out of Colorado, which is started by himself and his wife. And those are the three military veteran charities that we deal with. And then there's Victor Marks Ministries. Victor's a Marine Corps vet, Vic, and his charity works in a lot of different cool ways. And him and I in the veteran community and giving back to other victims of violent crime and other needs for the service dog. So those are the four charities that we deal with. That's Shadow Warriors Project, UDT Navy SEAL Museum, Special Operations Wounded Warriors, and Victor Marks Ministries.
Yeah, that's awesome. First of all, I'd like to say thanks for everything you do for veterans. That's huge, and I don't think people give thanks enough. So thank you for that. And
thank you guys.
That being said, we're going to take a break and get a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back, and we'll talk more about the dogs and the veterans. So when we return.
Put your weapon next to mine. Put your weapon next to mine.
You're listening to Wounded But Not Broken with host Patrick Scroggin. We will be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Hey, right on down the line. Come on over. Come on over. What's that old?
My father was the best truck driver I've ever known in my life. Like a family tradition.
I'm a truck driver myself. I drove around the state with my cat.
To be the truck driver, you not just only see where you go, you see the world in the larger perspective.
This is a really good time to be in the trucking industry. The dispatchers get good loads for them. The equipment is very new, and then it's very reliable.
At GTS Transportation, we make dreams come true by employing truck drivers, dispatchers, mechanics, and many other occupations. Consider joining our rapidly expanding team where we put quality, human dignity, and respect back into the workforce. Contact us by visiting our website at gtscarrier.com or call us at 847-754-4667. That number again, 847-754-4667.
Dallas Corporation and Dallas Logistics, a proud supporter of the Veterans Radio broadcast for over 15 years. High-quality printing services and warehouse distribution have been our hallmark since 1985, serving Fortune 100 companies for over 35 years. Check us out at www.dallascorp.com.
Attention, all U.S. veterans. You have served this country with honor and pride. So why is it so difficult to receive the benefits you deserve? Filing a VA claim is complicated, it's cumbersome, and time-consuming. Many veterans have a problem identifying what conditions they should apply for. VDAC, Veterans Disability Application Caddy, is an online application that greatly assists you with filling out your application and identifying the disabilities that you're entitled to. The VDAC process takes about 15 to 30 minutes from start to finish. The entire process is simple and easy to use. The software automatically cross-references the VA database to determine what presumptive conditions you are entitled to, as well as any secondary conditions. Once done, a fully completed VA form is generated with supporting material. To find out more, go to nifv.org and click on the VDAC button. Again, the website is nifv.org and click on VDAC.
Welcome back to Wounded But Not Broken with host Patrick Scroggin.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Here with Josh Perry from Baden K-9 talking about the charity work he does with different nonprofits for our military veterans with dogs, providing them with dogs. And so, Josh, when you give a dog to a veteran, or it's paid for through the nonprofit or however it goes, how much has give me the fulfillment that you get from that, because I know it changes lives. Because I've got a lot of buddies that are veterans that have dogs and dogs from you even, and I mean it's life changing for them guys, right?
Yeah, man, it's we, like I said, we got 4 guys in right now from all different walks of military careers. The relationships that have been made. My dad and I have always said that the veterans are doing way more for us than we are for them, and we learn a lot more from them than they do from us. But our company went when 9/11 hit. Our company shifted from the family-owned protection, the military capability, and the law enforcement, and went operational on the private side of the house. Everybody jumped on the private military contracting. We jumped into the K-9 capability in Iraq and Afghanistan, both on the operational and supplying. So when we started linking up with the charities, there was a great need for not just the veterans, but the private military contractors as well, which is what Shadow Warriors project does now, both on the veteran side of the military and on the contracting side. But it's not just seeing it from the veterans, but the wives, the children. It's humbling. I mean, to try to grab words to explain what and where that dog goes, where sometimes medicine can't go, where psychiatrists can't go. It's just, there's no words for it. It's magical, and it's very spiritual. So yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, so essentially, correct me if I'm wrong, but like for the military, you have a working dog. They become so vital in the special operations community. It's another tool in the tool bag. It's a combat multiplier. The dogs do so much more. They attach cameras to them. The dogs do so much. And, obviously it's like your brother, you love that dog so much, but it's just a badass tool that the military uses in combat now. And, I don't know when they transition to that or what, but I know they get used a lot more now than they used to.
Yeah.
So
yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
No, yeah, they had to recreate the wheel after Vietnam. It was at both the Tier 1 and the Special Forces community around. They really had some work to do after 9/11 hit. I know guys that were involved in the recreating, I guess you could say, in the plank holding of the K-9 units across North America, both from CANSOF and from the U.S. side of the house. So yeah, it was a lot of work to do. They've come a long way. The boys are really doing a great job.
So what is the timeline? I know you said that you start them at like 5 weeks. So what's the timeline to? I know they never stop training, but when you're comfortable sending them off to the team or to the family for for a family protection dog, what's the timeline of that?
You mean age-wise for the dog?
Yeah, how long is it in training before you're? I know it probably depends on each individual dog, but on the average, how long?
Yeah, usually, so because of what we're doing as a puppy and because of the exposure that what we're exposing them to throughout their training foundation, we can get some dogs at 11 months that are pretty dialed in. Now, you're going to deal with the youth. You're going to deal with, I don't like to call them puppies, but you got that young buck mindset where they're going to get into some crap and they'll mature out. But usually at like 11 months to, like I said, the 17 months, you can, again, depending, like you said, on, am I putting detection on this dog? Does it have higher level capabilities kinetically, exposing it to, gunfire, all that other stuff? Then you got a little bit more time on them. But usually 11 months we can start bringing them into their environment.
Yeah, and I think for the listeners, I think it's important because you had mentioned you got 4 guys up there now, so you actually have people come to Canada. They do different. You take them through a whole training regime with the dog, correct?
Yeah, we got. So we're on about 50 acres, not far from Niagara Falls. We got a facility, indoor training facility, outdoor. We have facilities where where clients can come in and stay. COVID hit, so it was a big. We were still, praise the Lord, moving around and accessing the veterans, their families, and their needs because unfortunately, you start locking stuff up. There's still 22 veterans a day that are going. So. We pushed hard on that, and now that everything's starting to open back up, we're pushing hard at bringing people in and getting them here and getting them trained. So yeah.
So can you just kind of describe kind of some of the activities that you have the veterans do or the people? See, because you'll sell a personal protection dog to a family, correct? And I'm assuming they do the same thing as the veterans. They'll come up.
No, yeah, kind of, man. They'll so it depends on the level of protection that we're selling to clients. A lot of times we'll go to the family protection client on the end state, and we'll embed the dog there to start, and then we'll keep currency training on that. That way, it depends on what level they're purchasing at, but a lot of times we'll go to them. The veterans, we'll either set up a course somewhere and have them come to us, or for sure at our facility they all come to us. The embedding is different as far as the service dog veteran program goes than the family. I mean, these guys today, just for an example, they came in yesterday. They flew in. Yesterday was Sunday. We picked them up, brought them in, just gave them their quick, hey, this is where you're at. This morning they woke up, did our safety brief, conduct briefs, and then we did, your basic sit down, stay, here's your leash. And by the end of the day, they were blindfolded, restricted of visual, working with multiple dogs, 7-8 dogs in the room, getting dogs from point A to B, doing the military stuff, the stuff that they, the big thing with the military and the veterans is a lot of guys will come, put all that away back on the civvy street. Our program isn't a fluffy feel-good program. It's a military working dog capability where we draw into those skill sets that they have been trained to do, all the discipline, all the consistency, all the communication. Those things that you guys put away in the Pelican case when you get into civvy street, we demand you bring them right back up. As a matter of fact, if you don't, it goes, I guess, as a slight against your selection, because these dogs demand consistency. They demand communication. They demand discipline. And so everything we do with them here is just right out of the textbook of the environment they came from. As one guy said today, he threw a piece of chicken down to feed the dog. I said, hey, man, how do you like it? He goes, I'm home. So, that's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. So they'll be up there for, 3 or 4 days?
They're up here 5 days. Yeah, 5 days. Yeah.
Gotcha. And then will they take the dog back with them at that point, or they?
No, it's just selection. So they'll go through. They'll be issued dogs. It won't be the dogs they're getting. They'll go through selection, and then basically we'll do a round table and go. Okay, this is where we'll go from here as far as these recipients go. This one right here, we'll get one now. We'll come back and follow up with the other guys and maybe things to work on and invite some back or not. Right? Some guys leave. Some guys will just say, hey, this isn't for me. It hasn't happened yet, but some guys do. If they don't say it, you can see it on their faces.
Yeah. Yeah. Because obviously I've seen some of the stuff that y'all do, and it's actually pretty comical. You put a bunch of guys in the car. Yeah, I don't know. People can watch it on the website. We'll talk about that at the end. But yeah, no, that's awesome, man. So how many dogs do you think are you pumping out a year?
You know what, buddy? I get that. How many dogs you got? I mean, So I will say this is the the business answer to that. We're pumping out quality over quantity. I mean, we could easily do 100 dogs a year. We don't. We could easily do it, and I won't because I just, I don't mind growth. I'm not afraid to grow, but I just, the genetics. You start tapping into genetics, and you start playing with that, and looking at the quantity over the quality, and you start losing the genetic capability and that. So, I will say after COVID, everybody, as far as the family go, is playing catch up. They're looking at their family, looking at security, looking at everything going on, and they're playing catch up. So we got a bunch of business coming in from that. And then unfortunately, we still have our veterans that are dealing with the issues that they're dealing with. So our goal is to penetrate that and to affect that big time and to bring it down to nothing. So, so that being said, there's your numbers. We're putting them out there. Our program is different. There's a lot of other dogs, a lot of other philosophies. So we're doing quite a bit of numbers. Notice I didn't tell you that.
Yeah, no, it's fine. That's fine. I think. I tell you what. Let's take one more commercial break. When we come back, we'll wrap it up and we'll talk about some other stuff. We'll be right back. Word from our sponsors.
Put your weapon next to mine. Put your weapon next to mine.
You're listening to Wounded But Not Broken with host Patrick Scroggin. We will be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Hey, right on down the line. Come on over. Come on over.
Attention, looking for semi-drivers nationwide. GTS Transportation of Burr Ridge, Illinois is looking to hire or partner with experienced CDL holders in every state. If you are going to drive, why not drive for the best? Whether you are driving solo, as a team, or as an owner-operator, GTS is looking to add you to their rapidly growing company. Become part of one of the most respected, driver-friendly, and successful transportation companies in America, where drivers are treated as royalty. Contact us at gtscarrier.com. Again, gtscarrier.com. Or call us at 847-754-4667. That number again, 847-754-4667. We would love to help you, which in turn helps everyone. GTS is an equal opportunity employer.
Dallas Corporation and Dallas Logistics, a proud supporter of the Veterans Broadcast Network for over 19 years. High-quality printing services and warehouse distribution has been our hallmark since 1985, serving Fortune 100 companies for over 35 years. Check us out at www.dallascorp.com.
VDAC, an online application that helps veterans research and file for their VA disabilities, empowering the veteran to take full control of your claim. Find out more by going to our website, nifv.org, and clicking on the VDAC button. Once again, our website is nifv.org, and click on VDAC.
Welcome back to Wounded But Not Broken with host Patrick Scroggin.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Josh, I'll just fire this. I know everybody that's listening is asking. So if you got a family out there and they're interested in getting a family protection dog, how would they go about that?
They just go online, usually www.badenk9.com. All the contact information is on our website. A lot of guys will go through the social media platforms now, Instagram, Facebook, Baden K-9 on all those, the social media. And that's pretty much it. Just hit us up on an email, the contact information as far as phone goes. And easy day. Yeah,
I mean, I know it's such an awesome thing, to have an asset like that, especially with nowadays. I mean, stuff's getting so bad, I mean, it's just, nothing's going to get past that dog, and dogs have that sixth sense, that intuition, and they can always sense that, and it's I think that's why it helps veterans so much, especially guys that have actually been in the stuff. Because they can take that dog anywhere, and the dog's always going to be watching his back, and it's just that security, But you probably know more about that than I do. But that'd be cool. Hopefully you get some traffic from this. And I know, so I had Keith Holland on a few weeks ago, and I know you kind of put him to work, right? He's training dogs with you now.
Yeah, Keith is. So Keith came from Special Operations Wounded Warriors. He got a dog, Quill is his service dog through Baden at SAL, and then Keith is one of the boys, man. He trains with me. He's actually here this week. He's working. He runs with me, and he's working with Shadow Warriors Project, with the training and the recipients with their service dogs. Yeah, we keep them busy, and that's the thing is a lot of guys are looking to stay busy, right? They come out and are looking to go to work. So if we can use them, we keep the boys busy. It keeps one guy a loyal dude.
Yeah, he's a hard worker, and I know that he's got a GoFundMe page right now. He's trying to, because I guess he's got a training site set up in his backyard and for grass to help sod it. So if anybody would be willing to help, you can go to his Keith Holland's GoFundMe page. It's Keith, KeithHolland, and just whatever you can give. Evidently, it's pretty extensive what he's trying to do in his backyard, but hopefully we can help him get that. I think he's got a goal of like $10,000, and hopefully we can help him meet that.
He says that all our dogs piss all over his yard, and we're ruining it. So he's like, "Hey, dude, I need new grass." So, yeah.
But is it some kind of special grass or something?
Yeah, it's he's got something going on. I couldn't tell you, but he's he deserves it. His facility deserves it. If the veteran needs help or something's going on, or like no kidding, if I make a phone call, I'm like, "Hey, bro, you got to go here to get this dog. They got a vacation or something." He goes and grabs that dog. So he's got a bunch of dogs at one given time at his house. So if you look at the pictures of his backyard, I think it's on his GoFundMe site. It's like completely Canadian peed brown, just dead.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So, do you like have donations come through you for dogs for veterans, or would you put them out to the nonprofits that you mentioned?
Yeah, you put them out. I don't. I'm a for-profit. Anybody that comes through, I divvy it up as needed. I know. Shadow Warriors Project, I remember this because I've done some stuff. So there's a text to donate, Shadow Warriors Project 91999. I think that's his text to donate number. That's Mark Geist Oz from 13 Hours in Benghazi. The UDT Navy SEAL Museum is all their K-9 project. It's through their website. Special Operations Wounded Warriors, just all through their website.
Gotcha. Well, man, I really appreciate what you're doing for veterans. It means a lot to me, and thanks for everything you and your family do. And I know you're a busy man, and I really appreciate you taking the time to do this tonight. And man, hopefully we can get some stuff going for you. But again, man, God bless you. God bless your family, and thanks. I really appreciate you coming on tonight, taking out the time for us.
Hey, brother, we appreciate you guys. God bless you guys. And, again, like we said, we appreciate you guys, what you've done, and continue to do. So we're humbled, we're honored, and most importantly, praise the Lord, we're able to do it. So God bless you.
All right, brother, thanks. And for everybody listening, if you can, replay this as soon as we post it. And if you could go back and donate to any one of them nonprofits, you're not going to find any better ones in this category. Them nonprofits do a lot for veterans and a lot for our special operations warriors. And check out my buddy Keith Holland's GoFundMe page. Let's try to get him some help. And thanks for everybody for listening. Tune in next Monday night for another great show. I really appreciate it. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
You're listening to Wounded But Not Broken with host Patrick Scroggins.
My father was the best truck driver I've ever known in my life, like a family tradition.
I'm a truck driver myself. I drove around the state with my cat.
To be the truck driver, you not just only see where you go, you see the world in the larger perspective.
This is a really good time to be in the trucking industry. The dispatchers get good loads for them. The equipment is very new, and then it's very reliable.
At GTS Transportation, we make dreams come true by employing truck drivers, dispatchers, mechanics, and many other occupations. Consider joining our rapidly expanding team where we put quality, human dignity, and respect back into the workforce. Contact us by visiting our website at gtscarrier.com or call us at 847-754-4667. That number again, 847-754-4667. 754-4667.
Dallas Corporation and Dallas Logistics, a proud supporter of the Veterans Radio broadcast for over 15 years. High-quality printing services and warehouse distribution have been our hallmark since 1985, serving Fortune 100 companies for over 35 years. Check us out at www.dallascorp.com.
Attention, all U.S. veterans. You have served this country with honor and pride. So why is it so difficult to receive the benefits you deserve? Filing a VA claim is complicated, it's cumbersome, and time-consuming. Many veterans have a problem identifying what conditions they should apply for. VDAC, Veterans Disability Application Caddy, is an online application that greatly assists you with filling out your application and identifying the disabilities that you're entitled to. The VDAC process takes about 15 to 30 minutes from start to finish. The entire process is simple and easy to use. The software automatically cross-references the VA database to determine what presumptive conditions you are entitled to, as well as any secondary conditions. Once done, a fully completed VA form is generated with supporting material. To find out more, go to nifv.org and click on the VDAC button. Again, the website is nifv.org and click on VDAC.
VBN, Veterans Broadcast Network, brings you Wounded But Not Broken, hosted by Patrick Scroggin. It lies within you to conquer your greatest challenges. Patrick tackles the stories of how others faced unthinkable odds, and then at a pivotal moment, a change occurred within them that gave them the strength, attitude, and direction to excel beyond the greatest expectations. Listen every week and learn how it is possible to defeat the impossible.